GM everyone, and thank you so much for joining us on the channel today. We have an awesome guest, Aaron from the Dust Lab. You know him, like he's managing like the youth and DeGods community, but also the business development of Dust Lab itself. And man, I can't wait to talk to him and try to get some alpha about like season 3 and all of the shit that's coming up soon. Q1. But before that, let me just recap to you like what we are doing on this channel and what we are trying to build. So basically, we are adding like a Web3 layers to the creators economy. And what does it mean? Like we want to align the financial incentive of the content creators with their community. So, and this channel is like the proof of concept of that thesis. So basically, for every video that you're watching on this channel, you have a chance to get the ownership of the video and a portion of its revenue if you win the raffle of the thumbnail, because we are going to mint the thumbnail, raffle it on our application, and if you win it, again, you will get the ownership of the video and a portion of the revenue, like between 20 and 30% of it. By doing that, again, we are building like we are aligning like the content creators incentive with their community, and hopefully like develop like the growth and like the community feeling of that both parties. So the best thing you can do right now is to subscribe to this channel, because it's gonna be a mandatory step to mint our own PFP collection upcoming, like probably like early Q2. But that thing about decoders, let's have Aaron on stage and start our little discussion. GM, bro.
GM, thank you for having me, sir.
Always, man. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Like everywhere you go, like it's either on like X Plus, Discord, on Space. Everywhere you go, I go, man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. It's been fun, especially hanging out with the X Plus guys.
No,
I love X Plus, man. Yeah. I think I'm actually going to be on a voice chat later this week in X Plus. I'm booked out. This is my press tour, man.
Actually, it's a road show, right? Yeah, that's good.
Exactly.
A lot of things are happening, right?
Something like that. Right? Yeah, something's happening. Who knows, man? Who knows these days?
Yeah, we never know. Right? We never know.
We like to keep people in the dark, man. It makes it more fun.
No way. You'll tell me. But no, that's good. That's a D-way, man. That's a D-way. Before like we start, like we have a little like dust giveaway on the Decod3rs channel. So like our Discord is connected like to Matrica. So if you are the youths or a DeGod, you can enter a giveaway in like the youth channel or the DeGod channel, or both if you have both. And I hope you have both, because that's easy to all those sweet NFTs. But try to win some dust. It's gonna be 5 dust. That's expensive now. But that's a cool giveaway. But you can at least like pay for unstack and stacking again. And that's it. Aaron, like, bro, I want to talk about you. I want to talk about like Dust Lab, what's coming, and even like content creation with you. That could be like a nice topic, like because you are connected to the Dust Lab communities, like both collections. So that could be an interesting take for you. But let's start by the beginning. Like, how did you start working for Dust Lab, basically? And I know you have a thread about that, but can you explain how the whole story started for the 2 people in the back of the classroom that don't listen shit?
Oh yeah, I mean it's been a wild ride, man. I mean, basically it all started with me minting DeGods. I just minted DeGods back in the day, you know, and I didn't even really participate that much in the community either. I don't even think I had joined the Discord until December.
Okay.
So I just honestly, like, I thought it was weird. I was like, I don't know any of these people. They're strangers. And then I eventually just met a couple people, started getting pretty excited, especially when Dust was coming out, DeGods was announced. And then I officially got brought on as one of the alpha callers for DeGods. So I did, alpha calls, got some whitelists for the homies, you know the deal. And then slowly but surely made my way from alpha caller to mod to then like community lead. And then in the early summer, they hit me up and they said, "Hey, come to LA, and it's going to be great. You're totally not going to stay here for 4 months. We're going to
Nice.
help you." And so yeah, the rest is kind of history.
Yeah.
We work full time at Dust Labs doing BD. Obviously, still super involved on the community side with YouTube,
Mm.
but focus for sure is on Dust Labs now.
Yeah. And like you are in like the HQ, like 24/7, like you're working there, right?
I was not
Okay. Okay.
anymore. So now I'm at my house in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Shout
Mm-hmm.
out. It's not that great of a place, but I was with the rest of the team in the HQ for like 3 or 4 months, like right when we were kind of launching Utes.
And how's the vibe there, man? Like, do you have any like little anecdote or like some stuff that can illustrate like the vibe in the DeGod HQ?
Yeah, man. I mean, it was fun, dude. Like, I mean, I think people like to think that we were like having fun and like partying.
Mm.
It's like, no, it was actually just working all day on just like a ton of different stuff. But there were a lot of fun moments. I think the thing that stuck out to me is like, I mean, because we were all just like working and like, nobody really
Yeah.
left and it was all food delivery. And so like, 3 or 4 days would go by and just the amount of like Uber Eats and DoorDash bags that would pile up like in the house, around the house was insane. So much so that by the time I left, we had to get these like special trash tags so that they would come pick up like extra trash every week because there was just so many
Oh
like
my god.
boxes and stuff. But no, dude, the vibes were always so good.
Yeah.
Everybody was just like pumped to be there and stuff. Obviously, there was stress here and there, different moments that kind of were stressful. But I think everybody on the team was always just like super good about like just giving people space and like understanding that, hey, like we're under a lot of pressure as a whole.
Yeah.
So it's like it's okay if one person has like a bad day or a bad morning. It's like you just kind of get back on the horse the next day.
And like how did that evolve like over time with like hiring more people and like like I know Chill, for example, is remote, is in France, right? So like how do like the not the atmosphere but like the collaboration evolve? Like do you feel like there is again an evolution between those days and what's happening right now?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even I think Chill is one of the best because he loves to travel with us too. And so like while I was in LA, I think I saw him at 2 different times, and then
That's cool.
we just had a team offsite where everybody went to Miami and he came too. So I think like we do have a lot of team members that are distributed across the world. I mean, we've got Chills in France, we've got Buddhas is in Greece. We've got a couple guys in Singapore, and it's like, we have people all over, right? And so I think for us, things have changed significantly in that, everything's very remote now. For example, every morning at the same time, we have a stand up, we all talk to each other, we all kind of get the lowdown for the day. But we really like every couple months just getting together in person. And I think that really kind of helps like cement kind of the vision of where we're going, and then also just like gives us a chance to connect as like real people.
Yeah.
Because I think especially when you're working through a computer, it's very easy to like kind of disconnect from like the personal experience.
No, 100%. And like, so you have also like an experience in startup like before, right?
Yeah. I had my own startup back right after I graduated college. It didn't work out so well.
Yeah, that's okay, man. Like it's an experience that can help you to like bring you where you are right now, and you're pretty good, man. Now it's cool.
No, exactly. It was a great experience. I mean, I would say like, I learned so much doing that, and like while it didn't turn into what I had hoped it would become, it did 100% lead me here, because being in the startup world is kind of what made me start saying yes to the crazy like opportunities and stuff that were happening. And I flew out to Miami a couple years ago on a whim with a couple startup friends, just because we were gonna kind of live in an Airbnb and hack together for a week. That's when I got red pilled on Solana. fast forward a couple months, now I'm in DeGods and now I'm here. So it's like,
that's cool.
it's all part of the plan, all part of the plan.
Yeah, but by saying yes to a lot of things, that's it. A good thing can happen, right? You never know.
You never know, man. You never know.
Like, would you say that like the Slab team is like full of the best entrepreneurs you can find out there?
I think there's definitely some very skilled entrepreneurs out there. I think obviously Kevin is insane. I mean, he's had a very successful career building and selling companies. Frank's has his startup experience, and I think honestly, like his experience, because I knew him before I knew he was Frank. I knew him as Rohan, and like his previous job and like growth hacking that. Like I remember seeing the ads that he made. Like all over. I couldn't escape him. Like as a startup founder, like I was kind of like his perfect customer for one of the gigs back when. And and I just remember how crazy that was. And so I do think there's a ton of skill there. I think like honestly though, most of us, like we're just like very passionate, like people in the community that like want to see everything succeed and have various skills that can kind of get there. I don't think all of us are, the best entrepreneurs in the world. I think we're all down to like learn, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty pumped that we all get to learn from people like Kevin and Frank. So
yeah,
we're all just a bunch of sponges.
No, and that's what like create like the best combination like possible, right? Because again, like you have like individual talent that works, like it's a synergy, like 1 + 1 = 3, right? Like you have like all of that talent pool that works together in the same direction, sharing the same value, sharing like the same brotherhood that can like live under the same roof for months with like high pressure environment, and then you end up like 2 years later with like a 500 SOL floor price. That's cool.
Yeah, and I mean the thing too is like it just you gotta grind sometimes, right?
Yeah.
It's like there's gonna be times where we're gonna be chilling on the yacht, and we're gonna look back, and we're gonna be like, oh, that was great. But it's like now it's like I mean that's kind of like the whole thing about really any kind of new company or startup is like if you're not down to like sit in the mud for a couple months, couple years even, you're probably in the wrong place, right? And so when they hit me up and they were like, hey, like come to LA, sleep on the couch for a couple weeks, I was like, bet. Like I'm in.
Let's go.
I'm on my way. Yeah.
No, that's cool. And like, do you think like this kind of like mindset is like transferring into like the communities, in the DeGods communities and the youth community? Like basically you bring what you look like, what you think and what you look like in the inside of the community. And that's what also it make it successful.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think we're really lucky with the communities that we have, man. I mean, the level of passion and involvement that people want to take in a lot of this stuff is honestly incredible to me. And I think the way I look at it is that, I mean, we really kind of captured lightning in a bottle. And so it's really just up to us to make sure that lightning like never gets out. And so it's really all about like, how do we make sure that one guy who's super pumped about like this one club, like has the best experience ever and like has those rails to actually go out and do something really cool. Because in the past, as you well know, being an OG DeGods community member, the team's not always been great about communicating and supporting the community and stuff. And so it's a big focus now in that it's like, damn, like that's what makes everything we do magical is the people that are a part of it. So it's like we just need to care a lot more about how do we interact with them and how do we level up that rather than like, not worrying about it at all.
Yeah. But like it's what also like makes the adventure great, right? It's because like we had a fucking marketplace that kept the DeGods locked, that 6 months after, then we enjoy like the dust ride and like the DeGod reveal, right? That it's like if you take like, okay, so DeGod launch and then right away you have dust and right away you have the DeGod art, you're missing a piece. Like there is something that's missing, right? And like the capacity of the founders, like in the team and like in the company, make it like even if it's like a major fucked up, they are able like to fix it, improve it, and then like the next step is getting better and better, right? Like for example, for the I would say like the youth mints, like the mint was like fucking like clean compared to the marketplace launch, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the funny thing though, right? Is like there's like the people from like the DeGods mint, they're like, damn, this was so much better. And then like the brand new people are like, why won't my transaction go through? It's like, dude, like I don't know what to tell you here. Dude, that mint was so magical. I'll tell you about that mint too, because the day that it happened, we had just moved houses. So we were in Palm Springs, and then we went back to Santa Monica. And when we got to this new place, it was we had got there like the night before, and so like the first full day was going to be the first day at this new place. The air conditioning broke, like absolutely busted. And like we're in LA, it was summertime. It got hot, man. I'm telling you, like I don't know the Celsius on it, but like it was probably like 90, 95 degrees in the house Fahrenheit. So like the heat was just insane. Plus all the stress of like all these bozos on Twitter being like, "Oh, it's not working. It's not working." It's like, So that was a wild day for the squad. Like you guys thought it was bad on your end, like on our end. It's like it's all that plus the actual heat was brutal too.
I like, man, like it mint event are like always crazy. But see, like for example, Ryan got like a nice experience with like the nice music and the colors like going down.
Oh, the reveal, dude, it's so good.
Oh yeah. I was more talking about like like the reveal by itself. Yeah, okay, no, you're right. It was not like the
I was referring to the tubes.
No, okay, my bad.
No, the reveal was perfect, bro. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
God. They killed it on that, man.
I had my head like in my head I had like the reveal in mind and not the and I mentioned the mint. My bad. But that's true. Okay, like the mint was something else.
It was a time, man. No, I love the reveal too. We were talking about this in a Twitter space, I think a couple weeks ago. But the reveal for Utes was actually inspired by a website browser or a web browser called Arc, ARC. It's like this kind of new browser. I'm using it right now. It's cool, like it's whatever, but like their onboarding experience is like beautiful. So like basically, like I remember when Frank actually saw this too. It's like he was onboarding to this thing, and it like blurred out his entire screen, and there was like this like orb type thing that was like had like this tone, and it was just cool, man. And like that 100% was the inspo around kind of the Utes mint. It was like, yo, like take over the screen, like kind of break the rules around like what a reveal is and make it more fun. And I completely agree with you because I was an absolute just nerd when it came to ripping tubes, man. I love
100%. Yeah. Would you buy a tube to just reveal one more?
Oh God. I can't do anymore, man. I can't. It was actually a problem for me, man.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I had enough soul in my wallet, I would just be like, well, no better place to park that than a nice little tube. So I think in total I probably ripped like, oh gosh, probably like 15, 16 tubes.
That's cool.
Yeah, I didn't keep them all because like I would get ones that I didn't like, and I would be like, oh, I gotta try to trade. But then it's like, dude, you know this too. The guys in the buy sell trade of DeGods, absolute savages, and like some of them go into Utes too. It's like, dude, it is hard out there. I'm telling you what, those guys scare me.
And like the price action, like post bridge, will be interesting to track on the tube for sure. Like it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one, man. I don't know what's gonna happen post bridge.
Yeah.
I'm just like, my bags are packed. I'm waiting. So
yeah.
I'm just like, we'll see what happens.
I'm not moving anything. Like, bro, like with the dust price action, like recently, I was thinking, man, should I sell some Utes, buy more dust, or like sell some DeGods for more dust? Man, I'm not touching anything. I'm not touching shit.
It's tough, man. It's like, I mean, Frank said it all the way back in the day.
Yeah.
He was just like, don't try to play the game and like you'll
Yeah.
win. And
Yeah,
so I'm
exactly.
just gonna sit here and I'm not gonna try too hard. I'm just not
Yeah.
gonna try to play the game. I'll just let Frank drive and we'll see where
Exactly.
we end up. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. And like, how did that moments, like even like the DeGod reveal, like the youth reveal, played out inside the community? Do you think it bound us together, or like there is like something happen when we see like these freaking colors going down and up, and like the DeGods turning to dead?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel that it was a very big moment for the DeGods community when like the
Yeah.
Dead Gods revealed it. Like, I remember that still. I was like streaming in the voice chat of the DDAO when it happened, and I just remember like that's one of my favorite memories throughout DeGods is like
Yeah.
I remember just like sharing my screen, watching them as like the first couple went by, and like everybody in the voice chat was just like freaking out. Everybody just loved it. They all looked so good. And like I think like especially I mean being like, you know, someone who minted, right? You get it. It's like we went through the mud, man.
Yeah.
And so to like feel ourselves like finally make it, and I think the timing of it too was that Dead Gods released right when we had basically hit an all-time high.
Yeah.
And then everybody thought it was just going to dump right after. And then like, oh, it didn't.
Nope. Nope.
And so I think it was kind of just like that moment for us, you know.
Yeah.
It was like, damn, like we made it. Like we finally got to the top of this mountain. And then it's like, damn, like it was just like that championship moment. And it felt so good, man. And then the Utes, I mean, I love the Utes reveal experience. I think for a lot of people, it meant a lot, right? I think a lot of people that especially weren't, you know, in the DeGods community before Utes, it was a pretty big deal, right? I mean, this is like their identity now. And now you look on Twitter, there's so many people that I don't even know if I probably followed them before Utes, but I had no idea who they are because I don't even know what their PFP used to be, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's no slight to any other PFPs out there, but it's like, you know, the Utes really became this like movement, I feel like, for a lot of people, and like this like true identity. And so I think like that tube reveal, especially if you got one that you really like, dude, there's nothing that compares to that. Like you see the colors coming down, the music starts hitting you. Oh, dude, like I think we killed it on that experience way more than the Dead Gods experience. If I had to like grade them both, I would say like the Utes one was probably like cooler from the user perspective.
But even like in terms of art, like you can see that during the use, like there is like a massive iteration between about like I'm not saying like the Dead God arts is shit, but like far away from that. But like there is something more, like, you know, in like the color palette style that it's you can see like iteration 1, 2, and 3, right? And that's why I can't wait for the season 3 because that's gonna be sick.
Yeah, man,
because there will be one more iteration for DeGods, so for DeGods, so that's gonna be cool. Have you already seen the art?
I've seen some very early versions of some stuff. You're like leaning in now. You're like, hey, no, I mean, dude, it's what's really insane is just like how incredible our art team is. And it's Johnny and it's Candy Apple, and these guys are just absolute beasts. And it's not even just like PFP art. It's like, I mean, branding and like, you know, just like website design, like merch design, wink, wink. But like that kind of stuff, it's just like, it's incredible to me because like when we were in Florida last week or 2 weeks ago now, I guess, I remember I asked him, I was like, hey guys, we're going to do some stuff. Like I need some designs for like this cranked out. And then like the next day, one of them hit me up, but they were like, hey, Johnny like ripped this at the airport waiting for his plane. He's just like waiting in the gate. And he like sent it to me and I was like, holy shit, like this is incredible. And it's just like they just have this artistic mind and direction that I think is very incredible. And it's like they channel that very well into, I think, our collections, because just like you said, I mean, each like DeGods versus Dead Gods versus Utes, it's like a whole different vibe. It's like a whole different genre between all three of them. Yet each of them are like beautiful in their own way.
Mm.
I'm not an artist. I could never do anything like that. And so it's just incredible to me to actually like
Yeah.
see it happen. And I know for Utes too, it's like it was a very long and grueling art process. Because people always ask, they're like, "Oh, what was like the actual difference between like the Utes on the reveal day versus on the mint day?" And it's like, well, like the base character was the same. A lot of a lot of the furs and stuff were similar, right? I think one big thing is like there used to be different kinds of furs. Now it's just like gray to brown with like pink and green. There was like a lava fur or something like that, or like a gold fur, whatever. And so like a lot of that kind of stuff changed. And then the colors being probably the biggest thing is like really just like locking in on the color palette. And then the glasses. So that was the biggest thing that changed for me because I left LA about a week before the reveal, and then I got to reveal at home. And so I remember seeing all the glasses, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like I didn't see any of these.
Holy shit! Like, wait, what? 1 week before, like, you didn't see any glasses, or it was not done at all?
Yeah. So the current direction, like where the glasses, like with this like fine art style and stuff, hadn't seen any of that. And so when I had left, they were playing around with backgrounds when I left, and they were using like fine art as backgrounds in a sense. So we were looking at like abstract art and like pastel art and stuff to like use as backgrounds. And it seems since I had left, they moved away from the background. They wanted to keep the backgrounds a little more muted, a little more PFP friendly, and then kind of transition that thinking of taking traditional art and then like just injecting it into the glasses style, which is that was what was new for me. Yeah, so that was really cool.
Man, that's cool. And iterate that 1 week away from like the mint, like you have some balls.
Dude, I mean, what I'll tell you is, people used to think that like DeGods was such a big operation. They're like, "Oh, these guys are a huge company." It's like, "Oh, they're just no." It was just a bunch of nerds trying to like get to the finish line. Now I think we're a lot more well put together. Obviously, Dust Labs and like the structure around a lot of the things we do is easier, and so that's why we've been able to ship a lot faster these days. But it truly was like that's why we don't announce things anymore with deadlines, is because it was literally like, "Fuck, guys, we got to figure out this art before like next week," or it's like, "What do we do?" And so you kind of back yourself into a corner there, but at the same time, it's like that pressure kind of like breeds the innovation. And they were telling me too, because I wasn't nearly as involved in the DeGods as I was in Utes. But when I got to LA, like Frank was showing me and stuff on his phone, the pictures of the DeGods like before they actually got released. And he was saying, he was like, "Oh, dude, look at how like ugly this is." And he was like, "Oh, this is gross." Like, blah, blah, blah. Those were pictures from 2 weeks before DeGods, right? And so I think at least the way it works for our team is like you might do 9 months of work, but the only work that really matters and the work that's actually going to set you apart from like the rest of the crowd is done in like the final hour. And like, it's like, dude, I mean, that's when the magic happens,
That's impressive, man. And like all of that process, like in a way, like can it be like again, like transmitted to the communities? Like, do you see by the art, like the art style completely different? Like obviously, like the community are also different, attract different people, right? Do you still see it that way after like a couple of months after like all of the iteration and also after the announcement? Like, have you seen like people moving and like even leaving the communities? And then like the group is it the group like more heterogeneous, homogen or not?
Yeah. No, I mean, dude, there's so many very very strong opinions in the DeGods community. As you know, and I think like like that is like when I think about kind of groups of holders that have like left or come in kind of waves. I have seen, talk from a lot of like OG DeGods people that are like, I'm not really down with like the youth stuff. Like, I'm just gonna hold my DeGods and like have fun
Hmm.
there. But yeah, I think on the other side though, I see a lot of people who, I think they're interested in DeGods, but it's like that's at this point is very expensive,
Yeah.
and like youths being way more attainable, but also like similarly positioned as far as the value it brings, like the
Mm.
community and like the access and all these different things. I mean, I see a lot more excitement around building community and youths than I do within DeGods right now.
Yeah.
And I think like a lot of that is because DeGods already has its community, it's got its culture, it's got kind of that machine that just keeps on turning, no matter what,
Hmm.
and like you don't have to touch it. Utes, I think, is definitely getting there. But I think what Utes was for us too, and I think this is where the similarities for like the team and the community really kind of converge, is that I think for the team, it's like Utes was like a new shot on goal. It was like, hey,
Mm.
this is like a new try. Let's see how this goes. It's something different. It's not baby DeGods. Shout out to the baby DeGods, but it's like it's not. It's something completely different. So we're gonna like give
Yeah.
something new a go. And then I think that really is mirrored very much so within the Utes community, in that there's so many people, off the top of
Yeah.
my head that I mean have just taken the community and run with it. And they're just like, you
Mm.
know what? Like I'm giving Web3 a chance because I got you list, or because I met,
Yeah.
X, Y, or Z cool person in use. And so I think like there's something really, really cool about that, because like, dude, you can't manufacture that. You can't like actually like plan for that. You can build everything you can so that you hope it happens, but like
Mm.
you can't actually make sure that passion actually comes. And I think that's what makes me so excited about Utes every single day. That's why I'm
Yeah.
rocking that hoodie, is because it's like there's just so much energy there. And if I had to compare the differences between the two communities, I would say DeGods is like Soho House. It's like a little
Mm.
more
Yeah.
upscale, refined.
Mm.
It's like you kind of got to know somebody type of thing. And then Utes is just like we work. Like we
Yeah.
work on the weekends at midnight. It's like you don't care.
Yeah.
Like you're taking a coding boot camp and crushing 6 Red Bulls overnight. Like that's Utes. And I think like there's something really beautiful about how they have
Yeah.
very separate identities, but also like very similar kind of
Yeah.
communities.
Which looks like kind of like the DeGods team from the beginning, if you want to compare that.
Literally though, literally,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and like,
cool.
cause that's the whole story. That's the whole
Yeah.
narrative. Is like DeGods was a bunch of dudes trying to do something cool on the internet. Some people thought that what they were doing was pretty cool. They
Yeah.
snowballed that into a lot more
Yeah.
cool shit, and then eventually like created all this stuff out of just like
Yeah.
this idea that the internet can actually be pretty fun.
Mm. And they got
That's
fancy.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. Now we're all corporate and stuff. I got the PR team and everything, but no, it's all good.
I don't like 100%. Well, it's honestly it's interesting because again, like when you think that both community are like pushed by the same team, like the execution and like the decision making that drive those like those results. It's so cool. It's so cool to see. And
Yeah.
yeah, like how yeah, you mentioned that the youth list, like after the couple of months passed by, do you think like the youth list was like a success in the execution and then the people that bring to the community?
Yeah. I think there's definitely a lot of really great community members that came
Yeah.
through the youth list. So
Mm-hmm.
that easy is success.
Okay.
So I think that was a success in that sense. I think it was also successful in the way that it helped us solve the problem, which was how the hell do you
Mm.
give out this whitelist to everybody?
Yeah.
Um, where I think it lacked was really like we were not expecting as much demand as we got, which I guess is a good thing. But I mean, we had like 70,000 applications,
Fuck's sake.
and so it's like it is very difficult, if not impossible, to look through
Yeah.
and give every single application the amount of time it deserves.
Mm.
And I do think like that's where it went wrong. In that, I mean, it was the perfect process for like if we had like a quarter or a half of the demand that we did. But the thing that we built just straight up did not scale to 70,000, and we had to learn that the hard way. And I think like that's where it went bad because like I'm always in spaces and stuff on Twitter and talking to new people, all this kind of stuff. And I mean, every so often I'll meet someone that it's like, oh, like I didn't get the U list, and like, oh, it's like
You
that
too?
sucks. Yeah, it's like that sucks, but like,
Yeah.
you might be really cool. Like how could I have known, and all these things. But then at the same time, it's like Kevin loves to say this is Utes had a lower acceptance rate than Harvard.
Shit.
So it's like, you take that information however you want. It's like, Utes are pretty exclusive. That's all I'm gonna say.
And that's good. And that's why, like, like as a DeGod, I can't be accepted to Harvard. So I created my own boat to be accepted as a DeGod, and that was cool. So yeah, I went to Harvard anyway. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
And then the next step obviously was like the implementation of the clubs, right? And the sub DAO. So right now we have like the page of the club, so we can clearly identify like which club for which trait, etc. But a lot of them, unfortunately, are kind of like low-key inactive, right? That was like been declared like a couple of like weeks ago, and like you can see it on Twitter anyway. Do you think it's because like the bridge has been announced and like people are waiting, or like is there a more profound reason for that to not that work that great, at least for now?
Yeah. I mean, I think part of it has to do with just like we as a team have not delivered on everything that we've promised that clubs is going to be. I mean, we've talked about different kind of DAO tooling that we can add into there.
Yes.
Different ways that club members can kind of connect with each other, learn more about each other, events, all these different things. And I promise you, it's being worked on. It's just there's so much on the plate, so much going on right now that we've kind of had to put that on the back burner. And I think like that kind of or the lack of infrastructure around clubs makes it difficult to like really want to like go forward and build it. And I think we've got some great examples of clubs that have just been killing it, right? I mean, you see like the McUtes and the Nouns, and it's like you see these clubs that are just day in, day out, like grinding, making content, doing cool things with their holders. And like that's awesome, and that's great if you have that amount of time and you have that amount of passion. But I think it's also just like it's totally fine for a club just to be a group chat. Right. And I think like we've kind of gotten away from that in a sense because like, we are very excited about the opportunity of clubs kind of turning into businesses or entities in their own right, gaining sponsorship from other companies and stuff to do really cool things. That idea is very exciting, but it doesn't mean like every club has to be that way. And I think if I had to chalk up the inactivity to one thing, I would honestly say I think it's more of an issue of that a lot of people maybe see creating a club as like it having to be the next Downs club or the next McUtes or the next Mickey DeGods and all these different things. And then that kind of just being a very high mountain to climb. When in reality, it's like all it really has to do is like, have a couple people that are into the same thing. It's like, dude, if you have 7 people that love the same music artist, that can be a sick club to be a part of if you love that artist, right? And I think there's room for clubs at all ends of the spectrums there. And we're just trying to build systems so that we can actually support every single one of those clubs. Because right now it's just a directory and there is a lot of inactive people. And there's even other people that are inactive by choice and have told me they're like, hey, we're going to pick things back up whenever, we bridge and stuff. So I do think the bridge is part of it, especially the ones that are like making tech. There's a couple of them that are trying to like actually build stuff. It's like, well, if we're going to bridge, why would we build it on Solana? And it's like, I don't know. So I think it's tough, but I think we're super excited about building more tools and more support for the clubs because I think that idea of like having these kind of micro communities within the community Like that idea can become very large and very cool for holders if we allow it.
Yeah, 100%. That's what we saw with like the Mikey DeGods, like out of like nowhere, I think, like basically like people getting all together, like creating a channel and then a Discord and then launching that collection and then stacking for dust. Like, let's go.
Dude, hilarious. I mean, but that's literally all it is. Like Mickey DeGods just started as a couple of bozos who wanted to like have some fun while the Frank and the boys were just like doing who knows what, you know? So like this is how we're gonna cope. And like Mickey DeGods started as just like a group chat of people like being excited and being into the same thing, which was role playing that we all worked at Mickey DeGods. But like there's something so cool about that. And it's like that has obviously turned into so much more, which is great. But it's like, let's get back to that. Like, let's get back to the OG Mickey DeGods chat. Like, just some people having fun, vibing, and it doesn't have to be that serious, I don't think.
Yeah.
It can be, but it doesn't have to.
Yeah. I think in a way there is like a possibility like for someone who want to be active in Web3, instead of launching a new project that have like 1% chance to work and probably less, to start working in a club directly and like have the back of like the support of the team. Like, again, like you launch a club in the youth community, then there is a chance that Dust Lab like back you up if you're doing something cool, right? But like you can still make like some like a side collection to get some fund, etc., etc. And at least you even like just practice and like build and do something, and then some cool thing can happen with that, which is an interesting dynamic too.
No, I mean 100%, man. I think. I mean, we've been talking about that idea with companies too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you look at these Web 2 companies that want to come to Web 3, and like their first thought is always like, oh, we're gonna drop an NFT. And it's like cool, but like, have you looked at other Web 2 companies that have dropped NFTs?
Yeah.
Look at how good they're doing. Not super well, right? And it's like there's only one thing worse than just like entering Web 3 and like dropping something that doesn't hit. It's a year later when it still doesn't hit and it's at zero floor price, and you can never get away from that. So really the idea is just like you said, it's really like outsourcing, a community. It's like you get all the best parts about having your own community. You guys can do whatever you want. You can have, the branding and the socials and all that great stuff without any of the bad parts. Like you don't have a collection to manage. You don't have a floor price to watch, because it's like, well, as long as you think Utes are going to still, at least stay the same. Well, it's like, okay, cool. Like they're not going to go to zero. And then you can kind of build off of this existing community, which I think is a really exciting thing for some of these like Web 2 brands. Because it's like, damn, like they don't want to increase their digital footprint, right? They don't want to add all these more assets. But like what they do want is like 150 like hardcore fans. And so it's like, that's what clubs are, right? And especially, like we have a bunch of different clubs out there, right? And it's like if you take, for example, like the coffee drinking club, and then you like pair them with Starbucks, and now like Starbucks is like sponsoring the coffee club. And it's like, damn, like that's pretty insane. I wonder what like cool things could come out of that, right? Like Starbucks branded traits, special, access for the club members in Starbucks and in the Starbucks app. I'm like, dude, there's so many cool things that you can do with that system. And it all just starts with like clubs. It's like clubs are just like groups of people that want to do something together. And it could be companies, it could be individuals, it could be a group of people, one person. I love clubs, man. I mean, you could probably tell. I could talk about it for hours because I'm just like super pumped with what we're building for it.
Yeah. Oh, and no, that's definitely interesting. Like you can easily imagine that if you are a youth holder, like you get some special treatment at Starbucks wherever you are in the world. Logistically, it's a challenge 100%, because like how are you going to tell like a Starbucks in Brazil that you have a fucking youth on your phone that you can enter like the Starbucks and do XYZ because you are special. That's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out. But yeah, please don't give me like a Toys R Us like mint for Starbucks, please.
Yeah, we'll try not to. I mean, if there's one thing you can count on,
I will take it anyway. I will take it.
Yeah, you're a DJ, bro. You're a DJ. No, we want to do things like fun. We want them to be interesting. And like, to be completely honest, I mean, we talk to a lot of brands that are just like, oh, like we just want to work with you guys. Like, tweet us out. Like, hop on this space. And it's like, dude, that is like number one. It's a shameless show. Like everybody sees right through it, right? Like when you see a tweet coming out from some kind of official account, when it's sponsored, and like it just doesn't hit, right? But also it's like it's not very impactful to users. And so it's like on the flip side, it's like when we do activations that actually just like make sense and I'll say like New York for NFT NYC, like you're gonna see a lot of this kind of idea happening is like, it's cool to have like companies involved with and sponsoring things. Yeah. But it's like, what is the story that we're telling with this relationship? Can we actually manufacture like a viral or shareable experience out of this? And as an example, I'll say like I used to work for Red Bull, right? Back in the day in college, I worked for Red Bull, the energy drink company, and it was a lot of like experiential marketing. Like, how do you just like knock people's socks off to get them to love Red Bull? It's a very similar idea with how we do a lot of these things. It's like, with Red Bull, I could just tell people about Red Bull. I could give them a can of Red Bull, or it's like I could actually just like do something crazy and like wow them, right? And like an example of that is like instead of just giving someone a Red Bull walking by them, like maybe I find them while they're studying at the library of my campus. And I give them and their study group like a whole 4-pack of Red Bull and like, some kind of like other thing. Because Red Bull has like a bunch of media and like content on Red Bull TV. And it's like, well, maybe I give them like, a card with some content about that. And it's like, you just make that experience so much more than just the exchange. And like, that's when things get fun because it's like those people that got the Red Bulls, they're going to tell their friends, they're going to be like, this weird dude came up to me today at the library and like was giving me this Red Bull and like this like BMX racing stuff. I don't even know what this means. But then with DeGods, it's like, oh, like, they could have just done this one thing, but like we're gonna deliver it in a way that like doesn't make it feel like it's some kind of corporate cookie cutter bullshit. Like we want people to feel like this thing is like meant for them. And I think like that's the whole idea that we want to do with New York is like, this experience is like made for DeGod holders and U holders. And like we're gonna build it so that it's something more than just like a fucking hotel stay. Because dude, you can stay at a hotel anywhere, but you can't stay at the hotel anywhere.
Let's go. Okay, now I'm starting to imagine and think what I'm going to find in my room in this D hotel. I'm excited.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It should be fun.
You don't know? You don't know?
I know it all. I'm gonna be honest, man. I know it all. Nah, it's gonna be great, man. We're involving some really cool projects, companies, brands, and I mean, dude, really the whole idea for New York is, if we can pull this off, if we can truly make just like an incredible experience for a couple hundred holders over the weekend or the week, it's like, dude, there's nothing that's stopping us from just doing that in other cities. Right? It's like, why wouldn't we just run that back for Art Basel, and then Paris next year? And then it's like all these different things. It's like, if we can actually figure out how this stuff works and like make it work really well, rinse and repeat all across the world.
Yeah, because like, is Dosla making any money of like the DeExperience? Like, is that profitable to do that?
I mean, hopefully by the end of it, it will be. To be completely honest, right now we're still like heads down planning. Right?
Okay.
There's obviously a lot of costs that go with it, but not all the events have been like super locked in yet. But generally, I mean, the idea isn't necessarily to like make money. It's more so of like don't lose money. Because like last year, New York. I don't know if you were at the party last year in New York.
I fucked up.
It's all right. I promise you'll make up for it this
Okay.
year. Huh?
Fair enough.
But I mean, it was fun. It was a great time. But
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely paid out of pocket for a lot of that, just because we weren't as big of a brand and like we didn't have the relationships that we do now. The goal this time is like, I mean, we don't want to have to be in the negative.
Yeah.
If that ends up in the green, sick. If it ends up at zero, also sick. Because like realistically, in what we figured out is like, especially because of the community, there's just actually so much social equity to the brands of DeGods and Utes. And it's like when I'm talking to these businesses, it's like, well, we could do whatever. It's like, name X, Y, and Z viral activation. Like we can make it happen like pretty easily. Like we can make anything go viral if we wanted, which is a really cool value proposition when you're talking to companies. But then again, it always comes back to the whole, like, how do you make it make sense?
Yeah.
How do you make this like make sense so that like you as a holder, when you check into your hotel room, you're not like, why the hell is this here? like why the hell am I getting shilled so hard with this thing? Instead, you're like, holy shit, I can't believe this.
Nice.
And it's like that difference is I think like the magic when it comes to like experiential marketing as a whole. And I think like that's what I'm super into from like the Red Bull background and stuff. And like, dude, if you can make people just like shit themselves, like there's no better marketing than that,
Man, that's gonna be cool. Okay, I'm ready to buy an extra check-in luggage for this DeExperience. That's gonna be dope.
I'm excited.
I want an extra luggage. Yeah, that's gonna be nice, man. And are you going to Paris?
I'm not, but a lot of the team is actually. I think Frank's going to be there.
Yes.
I know, and then Finn is also going to be there. Okay. And I also think Johnny and Candy Apple are going to be there. So I think most of the D Labs guys are actually going to be there. We've got a party going on with the Pudgies. So that should be pretty fun. Dude, I think there's over 1,000 people RSVP'd.
Fuck's sake.
It's insane.
Yeah. Between.
Well, no, it's like open to the public.
Between Beijing. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it's gonna be huge. Yeah.
Are we going to be like in the top?
Yeah, I don't know the actual setup of inside the venue. I know that there's gonna be like a holders only entrance.
Nice.
Like, you don't have to wait in a line or anything.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But dude, like that just goes to show you again. It's like shit. Dude, you let all the holders go for free. You charge $10 a head for everybody else that wants to come. Yeah. Boom, we're in the green. It's like it actually just doesn't take so much to like make these things sustainable. And I think that that's finally where we're getting to is like, okay, how do you make these things not bleed money and like super, super repeatable?
Yeah, that's cool. And then we're gonna see a club of like NFT Paris and DeExperience, and
dude, 100%.
Let's fucking go. Man, I'm hype. I'm hype.
Me too, man. Cool. It's gonna be great.
And what about the BTC community? Is that coming like soon?
Gosh, honestly, I don't think anything's been decided quite yet.
Okay.
I know what I will say is that there have been some very interesting parties that have reached out on behalf of these BTC DeGods.
Okay.
So I don't know what's going to happen there. I guess that honestly might just be a question for you too. I mean, being part of X Plus,
Yeah.
And you guys had a little bit of a mission. I don't know if we have any fun ideas, but I mean, I think the whole thing with the Bitcoin stuff is just like, dude, like it would be cool to like just bring back the DeGods and just like, like they're back, like here's an auction or whatever. But again, it just like always goes back to like, what story are we telling here? It's like, well, how can we make sure that these 535 are just going to be super special forever?
Yeah.
Put them on Bitcoin. Fuck it. It's like, why not?
And then we're going to figure out what's next.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. And so it's like, I mean, I do think there's a lot of historic stuff around that, right? I mean, it's a full block. It's there's like true collection on there. Super cool. But I mean, I wouldn't worry too much about getting your hands on one of those things. I think, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Yeah.
But if not, like, who knows how we're gonna distribute them in what way? But I think
Yeah.
we'll probably figure out a way that'll break the internet.
It's a challenge, man, because like I can tell you that the X Plus Discord like went for hours, like probably 2 or 3 hours before the call with Frank. That was interesting.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. I
Yeah.
mean, dude, especially it's like, I mean, you make these decisions, and this is something I felt pretty heavily like when I first got to
Mm.
LA. It's like, I don't know, man. Like I was just working in the house with the boys, and it's just like we're just working on some stuff on the internet. And then I would
Yeah.
turn on Twitter and I'd be like, oh, like this thing's actually huge. Right.
Mm.
And it gets very easy to like forget how big of an entity or how big of a presence that all of this that we do has.
Yeah.
Especially when you're just like talking to the guys in the Discord or like hanging out. It's like, but then it's like you actually look into and like see kind of zoom out. You're like, oh wow, it's like there's tens of thousands of people
Mm.
around the world that are like waiting to know this information. And it's like that's just like a mind fuck to me. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, like like they're just pictures on the internet, but for some reason it's an important picture.
Yeah.
So like I'm in, but it's always just crazy to me because dude, I don't envy any project founders out there, man. It's a tough
It's
job,
tricky. It's 100%.
and
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
better for worse, it's like, yeah, you
Yeah.
can control anything that happens, but it's like,
Yeah.
and you also have a few thousand MFers that are just coming at you all
Exactly.
day, every day for all your
Yeah.
decisions. And Frank's
Yeah. And
lucky,
like,
right? I mean, he's got
yeah.
a cult, so like that's
Yeah.
good. I'm part of it.
Yeah, it could be tricky, like even like especially with like financial product too, right? Because people can get fucking crazy quickly, and like you never know, like if like yeah, bro, like you go to an event and like some bad shit happen, like because the guys I don't know like burn or like send his NFT to the wrong wallet. That's
scary
like
stuff,
yes,
man.
like
Scary
yeah,
stuff.
like you never know. So yeah, like I like to be a holder. It's cool, but I like to build too. So it's it's a paradox.
Dude, it's the best of both worlds, man. I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, I almost started an NFT project way back in the
Yeah.
day, actually. Before DeGods, I guess technically our pre-sale mint was before the DeGods mint. So you could
Oh.
say that I was first. I don't know. No, but it was a ton of work, man, and I think
Yeah.
I think that's what, at least at the time, like a lot of people didn't understand when they were starting these projects is like, hey,
Mm.
guess what? You're starting a company. And like, if you're
Yeah.
not prepared to like work on this thing for at least like 7 years,
Then yeah.
you're probably about to rug a bunch of people. And so it's tough, man. It's tough. But I mean, obviously there's a bunch of very talented founders, especially in
Yeah.
Solana, that I mean, it's like impossible not to get behind them. Right. I mean, you got,
Yeah.
of
100%.
course, you've got your Franks and stuff. You got your Kryptonets. You've got, your Foxy devs. You've got all these different kinds of just dope people creating
Yeah.
really cool things, which is like, that's why Solana is so much fun for me, I think. Right.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not fun when there's only like one thing to care about. Like it's fun when you care about all of it and it's actually all that cool and that much fun to be a part of.
Yeah. No, 100%. And like that's why also like I'm like bullish on Solana, even if like we went to sub 10, like which is why kind of I was like start to sweat a bit when we went sub 10, but like with all of the like talented people and even like the big brain of the Silicon Valley are coming into like crypto, NFTs and Solana to build like cool stuff. You have like some money, obviously, like we had some VC money at some point when it was not like it was like good VC money and not like not a regulated scam, but like it's there is some sign that like this ecosystem is here to stay, and even like now that we're moving to ETH and even like Polygon, like it's a new like ecosystem, new actors, so you have to learn everything and like build your network again. But like fuck it, just we like 2 years ago we had nothing, and now like now we're here, so let's do it again on this. Yeah, exactly. Which is like on Polygon, it's gonna be interesting because by definition, youth will be like top one, like day one, day zero, like day minus 300 days anyway, and like to see like if that's gonna bring more people into Polygon or not. That's gonna be like we will know like pretty fast if it's like the migration and like the decision to migrate will be like was a good one or like just a try.
And I don't know. Like, I mean, I think it could take a little bit, honestly, to figure it out, because I mean, part of it too is like, I mean, yes, when Utes Bridge is over, there's going to be at least one very interesting high ticket item to trade and stuff, but to me, I don't think it'll get super interesting until there's more projects.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, and so I think like we might see some pretty interesting stuff happen in the first couple weeks around like price action, volume trading, whatever. Yeah, but I think the real test is like I would look 6 months, like 6 months past the bridge. And it's like okay, if 6 months past the bridge, if like things are very clearly better than they were pre-bridge from a standpoint of like price action, volume, community involvement, all these different things. I think that would probably be the time frame I would look at. Because I think, I mean, internally for us at the team too, it's just like we're excited to build on Polygon. We're excited to help build out the ecosystem, meet great founders that want to help build out that ecosystem with us. And so that's what I would look for there. On the DeGods side though, dude, I don't know what's going to happen.
100, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 100 if. 2 weeks.
Dude, I mean, but like, isn't it crazy though? Because I mean, ever since the beginning, we were always talking about, oh, DeGods is going to flip them. We're going to flip them. We were at 3 SOL and it's like, we're going to flip them. We didn't care. It's like, and it's like now it's like, hey, that actually could happen in 2023. And that's the goal.
What would be like your price for like again, not successful? I don't want to attach like a successful of the bridge to a price action, but like like okay, what price would be for you to like you would be happy to see just like after the bridge, once the bridge done, like 1 week after the bridge, like really really short term?
33 ETH.
Yes. Oh, fucking good answer, man.
You know what I mean? Like 1 or 2 weeks after the bridge, let me see a 33 ETH because we don't want to go up too fast. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
When you go up fast, you come down fast. But
exactly.
Yeah. So I would say 33 ETH, man. I'm holding out.
Let's go.
I still probably won't sell though, man.
I have a short, like if it's happening. He said it. He predicted.
Hope so, man. I hope so, because like, dude, that's the most fun thing about like building this stuff and like being a part of like the building process is like, dude, at the end of the day, I'm just a degen holder. You know what I mean? Like I just have a bunch of our JPEGs, and so I get pumped about it. All this stuff too. And that's just like that's the fun part is like getting to speculate on like, ooh, what's gonna happen? Like, dude, I don't know. That ETH money moves different. Like, I don't know if Blur is gonna like are the Blur farmers gonna, pump our shit? I don't know. Should be pretty fun though, man.
Yeah, no, 100%. And like, this fucking shit of 0 royalties. Like, is that good enough or like DeGods?
Dude, I mean, we haven't taken royalties in almost a year now. I feel like really though, because it's like people just never paid on Sol anyways. It's like the idea that we're like losing out. I was on a Twitter space earlier, and some dude was like angry that we were bridging or something, and he was like, "You guys should pay the paper hands bitch tax to Solana for leaving." And I was like, "Dude, we already did. We haven't earned any royalties in a year, bro. Like a year on DeGods.
That's a bitch tax, man.
Dude, that's one hell of a tax." So. The ETH homies, they're having the conversation. They're figuring it out. But it's like, dude, been there, done that. It's like, I think at this point, like as a team, we are super comfortable with operating in a no royalties environment. And so it's like, dude, if there's no royalties, there's no royalties. If there are, then that'll be way cooler. We can hire more people and do cooler things. But in a no royalties environment, I think we're just gonna still move at the same pace, because it's like you look at how fast we've been moving over the last 3 months, for example. So guess what? No royalties in the last 3 months either. So it's like the royalty conversation just doesn't really like hold too much weight for me anymore. Just because like internally we haven't thought of royalties as like a revenue stream for months now.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, I mean that makes sense 100%. And at least, like we're gonna see like more wash trades on DeGods, and fuck it, we ball, right? It's cool.
Fuck it, we ball, baby.
And like, are you exposed like to the ETH ecosystem? Do you hold any NFT on ETH?
I've had a couple NFTs on ETH in the past. I don't know exactly what I have right now. I've bought and sold a couple things. I have a couple ETH too. So I would say like I'm exposed, not nearly to the extent that I am on Solana at this point. Dude, I was looking at have you ever checked out Netrunner?
No.
They're like an NFT portfolio tracker thing. It's pretty good. I've been talking to them, so I've been checking out their thing. That and like things like Acid Dash and stuff. It's like, dude, I plug it all in and I'm like, oh my god, dude. Like, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? You know what I mean? It's like I literally have so much of my net worth tied up into like a combination of DeGods, Utes, and Dusts. And it's just like, bro, like when you actually just take a step back and like think about that, it's like I should be diversifying. I should be sending some of it to ETH, bro. I should probably be buying like New York Stock Exchange stocks too. I'm not doing that shit, bro. I'm riding DeGods and Utes, baby.
Let's go. Let's man, like,
go.
Like that's exactly the conversation I had. Like even like when DeGod went at 600 Sol price, when Sol was still at like 40 or like 50, I think, or even higher. I had this conversation with Jas in the chat, and like, should I sell some? Fuck it, like. And the number is madness. Like the actual number was fucking crazy. But fuck it. Like it's cool. At least we have fuck it, we ball, right? We have some fun.
Dude, like it's part of it too. Is that I mean, there's been with the mythic pumps that DeGods has gone through. It's like there's been so many opportunities that I could have played the market, probably even bought more DeGods down the line and stuff. And it's like there are people that are very successful doing that. I don't think I would be one of those people. I think I would be very bad at it, and I think I would lose a lot of money. And so I think it's just one of those things. It's like it's too rich for my blood. I'll let the OTC bandits like go ahead and take that road for me, and I'll just diamond hold, man, because like it's done well enough for me so far. I have no reason to believe it will stop doing well for me. So I'm just going to keep diamond handing everything, and we'll see what happens in a couple of years.
But do you have an exit number or like even a date in your mind? No, not at all. No. Yeah, we're riding for real.
I really just don't, man. I mean, my whole thing too is like, I'm young. I'm 26. And so it's like I don't even like unless I had something I needed to buy. Why the fuck would I sell? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I've been thinking about like maybe buying a house soon or something like that. But it's like, dude, fuck a house. Let me get another DeGod, bro. Like,
exactly.
An apartment for another year. It's like, And so when it comes to actually taking profits or anything for me with any of my NFTs and stuff, it's always for me. It's always just about what am I going to use that money for? Am I going to roll it into another NFT that I believe in 100%. More? Okay. You know, do I need something new? Do I? But I do love the idea of them just being so liquid, man. Because it's like I talk to the normies, right? I talk to my parents and stuff too, and I'm like, oh, like you guys don't understand, like it's worth this much, and like da 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 da. They're like, yeah, but it's a picture, and I'm like, dude, I could transfer this to my bank in 10 minutes. And like I'm waiting, honestly, for one of them to call me on it, so that I would just be like, look, dude, fucking dump it on the floor, boom, send that to Coinbase, transfer to the bank, boom, like it's already in there, and it's like. People actually just don't understand how liquid these assets are, and and like it's very close to being like real money. It's just kind of
100%. And plus, like, bro, like all of the tools that we see like develop in like the last 6 months to 1 year, like again, you have like instant sell of Magic Eden, you have like all of these fucking AMMs like left and right, and now you will have like the tokenization and fractionalization of NFTs. I can like sell 50% of my DeGod, take a loan, buy some other shit, like having a contract on 7 days, make even more money, buy back everything, or lose my DeGods. That depends. But like we are getting like fancy with like all of the tools that we're like step by step building and see on like the ecosystem develop.
Like, no, and that's honestly like, dude, that's why I love Solana so much. It's just like fun to be a part of it. Like it's fun to be a consumer and a user of these technologies. It's fun to like talk to the people that are building them and stuff. And I think the craziest thing to me is when Solana hit $8, you know, when FTX went down and all that stuff, it's like, yeah, people were upset. But like the fact that there were just still so many people here tweeting about Solana being at $8, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like that's actually like why this thing is valuable that we have here. It's not because of the value of the tokens or the value of the NFTs we all hold. It's the fact that, honestly speaking, I think if you took out the price and like the dollar value from the Phantom wallet, nobody would know we're in a bear market. Nobody would fucking 100%. Know.
Yeah.
Like people are still out here doing the craziest shit. It's like, dude, nobody would know unless it's only because there's actual dollars attached to the tokens right now. And dude, that's why it's like, you know what? Frank can bridge my DeGods. He can bridge my Utes. He'll never bridge this heart. This heart stays on Solana, baby.
So, okay. So if that's the case, don't you think we should have like a collection on Solana from the slab just one more time? I like your style, man.
It's my Solana Pit Vipers, baby. No, dude, honestly, I think
we have deep.
I think that'd be funny. I think that'd be funny, man. I don't know.
I got a shit ton of points, man.
Dude, because the funny thing is like actually with Dust Labs, it's like a lot of the stuff that we're building, like we obviously build it for DeGods and Utes and eventually other projects too. But it would be really great to have an NFT project that wasn't worth so much that we could just test shit on and like break. Because like right now it's like, okay, it's like, all right, we're gonna go live with it and we're gonna test it on DeGods, which worth like, you know, 12 grand a pop minimum. And so it's like, damn, you know. So we've actually been making tons of jokes internally about just like making some kind of dust collection and just like literally just never letting anybody join and just like listing like the only public one at like fucking $1 million or some shit. And it's like, damn, like if someone really wants to be a part of the boys,
100%. 100% you get a sell.
I don't know, man. It would be pretty funny though. It would be pretty funny.
Full sell, and then you like equalize like the volume of transaction of DeGods with like 4 NFTs.
Dude, I mean,
bro, do you want to break internet? Send this stream to Frank, man.
Dude, no, I would be the funniest thing, man. But I don't think. I mean, I guess technically, like, there's always going to be DeGods, Utes, and on Sol.
Yeah.
Not everybody's ever going to bridge. So that's what I love telling the haters. You know, is like, you guys can hate us as much as you want, but like you'll never be able to get rid of that last stubborn DeGod who lost his private key and will never be able to bridge his DeGod over to ETH. It's like that'll always be on Sol. And I think tubes too, because we don't really want to rebuild the whole tubes minting thing on Polygon. So I think tubes, like the actual tube to use process, is going to stay on Solana.
Okay. So like you're saying, like we will always have like a Magic Eden page to sell your Sol DeGods if you want.
Yeah, I mean there has to be, right? I mean, unless I mean, dude, I can look at it right now because what is it? It's like if you go to stake.degods.com, the original, the OG stake.
Yeah, there's still DeGods on it. Yeah.
Still 113 motherfuckers that are staked there. And so it's like, bro, you got to think too. It's like the last time this site was the site to stake at was like literally a year ago. It was like actually a year ago now. So it's like if there's still 113 people staked on the very first staking site, it's like, dude, they don't even have DeGods. They definitely don't have their Utes. So like the idea that they're just gonna come back and they're be like, oh yeah, I'm bridging everything right now. Like, dude, no chance.
Let's go.
Yeah. So I think there's always gonna be a couple for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's part of the fun though, right? Arbitrage. Yeah. You know, and like, hey, if the ones on ETH are worth a little bit more, you know, might get a deal. So it should be pretty fun.
I can't wait to be a Q2, right? Because we will see like the result of Q1 because we're bridging in Q1, right?
That is the plan, dude. That is the plan. We are
nice answer.
We are sprinting for Q1, sir.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's looking good though. I mean, it's looking good. Cool. If not Q1, it'll be like literally week 1 or 2 of Q2.
Okay.
So we're working pretty hard on it though, and we've got a ton of support, which is great.
Yeah.
You know, Magic Eden, Phantom, Wormhole,
which is
Polygon,
cool. Honestly, I'm just teasing you. I'm just having fun. Yeah, but like even like Polygon ecosystem.
Though, it's like real, the delays.
Yeah, like the whole Polygon ecosystem will be like completely different from like right now to when like all of the Phantom and like Magic Eden is already implemented on Polygon, but like all of that part will be put together on the network. That's gonna be pretty dope for them. That's kind of bullish. And Matic is doing like has crazy performance right now. I don't know if it's related to youth or it was before, but like even before, but like it's pretty solid right now. I'm waiting for the dip, man. It's not coming.
Dude, I need to load up, man. I don't have any.
Yeah, man, me neither, man. Like I'm DeGod Maxi, man.
Yeah, dude, I need to lean into it, man, because as soon as like we announced the bridge, I like minted an ETH project and everything. Like, you know, I'm dipping my toes in, but I need to load up on some Matic. I need to go get. Yeah. I was thinking, dude. So you know how my Twitter used to be Soul Sorcerer?
Yes.
I was thinking, I was like, dude, I should just make a new Twitter that's the Matic Magician. No.
Aaron DeGod is late, man. Why do you want to do that?
That was like an alt, bro. Like an alt. It didn't hit though. It's fine. No, I hated the Soul Sorcerer, bro. Dude, you know Frank fudded that name so hard.
Yeah, that's the story. Yeah, that's why you rename. I mean, like, yeah.
He made me feel so bad about myself. There was one day in particular. I think I was on a space or something, and he was just standing next to me in the kitchen, and he was just like, he like looked straight at my face, and he was like, "Your name fucking sucks." And I was just like, "Yeah," but like I thought it'd be funny. It's like a meme, and he was like, "Dude, it's the worst thing ever. Like, you gotta change that." And then for weeks, he was always just like, "You gotta change that. You gotta change that." And they all called me Sorcerer too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Had to do that Mythic rebrand.
I completely feel you, bro, because like same thing, my fucking handle is like a handle without any vowel. So when you go to space, like
yeah.
So that's why like the Vince stuff, like okay. But like when you rename the handle, then you lose all of the tags from before, right? So it's annoying.
Yeah, you do. You do. Makes it really hard to find the old tweets. Right.
I mean, yeah. But maybe you can.
What I did find though is if you search for like the old app and the new app, like you can sometimes find them. So I've found some of them that way, but no, dude, Twitter definitely kind of messes you up there when you change the app. But had to be done, bro. I couldn't keep living as Soul Sorcerer, especially, dude. Imagine I was still Soul Sorcerer when we announced the bridge. What am I going to do then? Yeah, what am I going to do then? Yeah, I got to leave the sorcerer on my own terms. Whereas if I didn't, then I would have been pushed out by the bridge.
Yeah. So. Which was by Frank term, kind of. But yeah. We can.
Yeah. How Frank stole Christmas, right?
Yeah. Your handle sucks, man. Yeah.
Oh, well.
It's hard to take, man. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, look, we're just getting started, and it's already like 1 hour and 20 minutes, man.
Oh, Jesus, bro.
Man, like,
we're gonna have to run this back, bro. We're gonna have to run it back.
Looks like you want to have an episode 2. I'm up, man. I'm up. That's no problem.
Yeah, after, dude. If we wait a little bit, I might be able to give you some alpha too. You know? Oh, dude, idea. Okay, this is gonna be a crazy little live idea right now.
Okay.
Dude, let's do episode 2 with multiple team members in New York, like live. You want to do it live, bro? A little live show action, like IRL live?
Do you really think I'm going to say no to that?
I know, exactly. That's
right?
Exactly, yeah.
So it's happening. Okay.
Dude,
okay,
let's make it happen.
2. Okay. I try to contact like the tier, but like send an email via Kevin and stuff, and too complicated. Like there's some bridge.
Send it to me. I'm your guy, bro. Don't worry about it. I'm your guy. Dude, that would be sick. Let's for sure do it. I think that would be so much fun, man. Because like we definitely like want to do a lot of because I mean we've got a lot of people in the community that create all kinds of content.
Yeah.
So it's like shit. If we're all gonna be in New York, like we're gonna number one, we're just gonna sell Frank's time. You know, just let that be available for the holders, because when else do they get to just absolutely destroy Frank's schedule? So like that'll be one thing, and like I think we want to have like a room that's like set up so that like I mean you could literally come in, film a video. Mark Colser could come like film a podcast or whatever. Want to definitely make sure that this New York experience is very content friendly. So it should be pretty fun.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna turn an influencer for real.
Yeah, dude, you got to get like the like selfie stick, you know, and like the gimbal, and like, hey, what's up, Vince here, DNYC baby, public hotel.
Fuck's sake, I wanted to stay away from that life, man, but like I think it's happening.
We're pulling you back, bro. We're pulling you back.
No, that's good. That's good because I'm gonna train. Like I'm gonna do a vlog with NFT Paris stuff, like same thing. So this is gonna be a good training, and then game on for like streaming like the DeExperience. That's gonna be cool.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's do it.
Fucking go.
I'm so jealous about Paris too, man. Oh,
yeah.
I wish I was gonna be there. It was too short notice for me this year, but next year. You bet your biscuits. You bet your baguettes. I'll be there, baby.
I bet everything that we are going to a D tour, like worldwide, with D points, youth points, D airline, D plane, D what the fuck you want.
Hey, we might need royalties back on for that one. We might need a turn back on the
plane. Yeah. Give me the 3.3% of royalties for deep lane, bro.
Dude, I mean that's a pretty good utility.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, like, you wanted to buy a house, but like, I think DeGods have more utility than the house, right? So, if they can bring you a plane,
in a lot of ways, DeGods have more utility than houses. So I will say, that.
Man, we should like stop on that sentence.
It's kind of a bar, I'm not gonna lie. No, dude, we'll definitely have to run this back. I'm down to do 100%. Whenever, for sure. But let's for sure connect offline, because I want to make sure that we set up this stuff in New York in a way that like you could literally just pull up and like film a couple of these maybe with other community members and stuff.
That would be
we just like, dude, New York has to be a content machine, and I think like. We've got all the foundation set. We just got to make sure that we can execute on it when the time comes.
That's okay. That's fantastic, man. That's why I loved it. I'm never gonna leave this community, man. It's so cool. So nice,
dude. Isn't that the worst though? Because it's like fuck. It's like one day, right? Like let's say DeGods hit $1 million floor. Yeah. It's like okay, I have a couple, but it's like
I have a couple.
Eventually, right? It's like shit. Like, how do you, like, at what price point do you leave the community, or is there just like a never price point?
I mean, like with my bag, that's never, because like I can sell 10%. I'm good.
you got a lot. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So no, like I really think, like, honestly, even like before like Web3 and NFTs, like the community aspect of it, like, you know, like it's really a North American way to think, like, yeah, okay, like we are gonna be best friends because we are on the same Discord and stuff. But no, like with like the last 2 years, it's like it's really hit, like I understand like the aspect of it, like why people are staying together, like spending hours on Discord and years and months of their life together, and like end up in a fucking hotel in like New York, and then like it's like you are with your best friend basically. Like that aspect of it, it's like it's crazy. And for personally, like with like everything that bring like the Dust Labs collection into my life, I mean, I'm never gonna leave that. I can't leave you, bro.
Dude, I feel the exact same way. It's like I feel like there's literally no price point that these NFTs could get to.
Yeah.
That would ever like make me, because I mean I got a handful of DeGods. You know, I'm not quite, you know, an X plus guy, but you know, I got a couple.
X, just semi-X.
Yeah,
half
I'm
X.
like X. Yeah, half X. I'm XV. Or DeGods V, you know. But no, I mean, because it is like, I mean, it's like different, and it's very difficult to explain, I think, the value of like how much like love I feel just being a part of the DeGods community. That, I mean, it's, how do you even explain that to someone who doesn't even know about this world existing? It's very difficult, and I think eventually it'll get easier. But like, to me, it's like, dude, you can't like buy the experience that we've had last year and a half. You know what I mean? Like, you could buy the NFT, can't buy the experience. Like, for me, I'm just super excited about not only like helping to kind of curate and create these experiences for the holders in the community, but just like being a part of them myself, and being able to like live through the story of DeGods as it's happening. Like, dude, it's magical. It makes me so happy, and like every day I wonder like how the hell this turned into like a job for me. Like, I'm just like, I don't know how I made it here, but I'm super pumped because I get to pump my bags and talk to the homies all day, and it's the best. It's just magical, man.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like this matching friends sentiment, it's crazy. It's insane, but it's cool, and that's why we stay. That's why we
honestly, bro. Like, I think it's the only reason. Like, it's the only reason anything's worth anything in Web3. Like, dude, like, there's a lot of people that'll try to like prop up stuff with money or bags and fake trading and all this stuff. It's like, yeah, whatever. But I think when it comes down to it, it's like all these NFTs that people spend thousands of dollars for. It's like nobody would ever spend that money for these kinds of things if they didn't come with like real friends and like real experiences and like actual things that you can derive value from. And I think like that's what we as a team are going to hit hard, very, very much so this year, is like, how do you make sure that they like being a part of DeGods is a superpower? Like that, meaning, you know, I can go to New York, I can go to Istanbul, I can go to Rio de Janeiro, and like every single place, I'm gonna have a bunch of friends that maybe some of them will be like, oh, stay at my house. Some of them will be like, oh, these are the best restaurants you get to go to. Some of them, maybe we go see a game together or something. And it's like, that is like actually just a superpower that isn't even available in Web 2.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, like, there's no substitute for true community and true friendships. I think like if we can figure that out, like everything else is actually just easy.
But the crazy thing is, like, Dust Lab has been able to replicate that feeling with a second time with youth. Like, it's crazy. Like, it happened with DeGod, and at a certain scale, it's happening right now in youth, because even like the community is younger, etc. And it's probably gonna happen on the next collection on Solana that you're gonna launch after the bridge.
Maybe,
but
man.
I'm joking. But like you can do that again and like okay, I don't know again and again, but like just doing that twice, it's massive.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's like what, like 10,000 people, 10,000 holders. We probably have like 10,000 unique holders,
somewhere around there. Yeah,
like it's
incredible,
like the
man.
power of that. It's madness.
Yeah.
But
I mean, dude, it's like at the end of the day, it's like the mission statement of like D Labs is like we're just building the best communities on the internet.
Yeah,
it's like,
and
dude, like if we can scale that, right? It's like, damn, like you thought DeGods was cool with 10,000 fans, like you're gonna love it with 100,000. You know what I mean? And it's like this stuff can just grow so rapidly and become so big that it's incredible the opportunity we have in front of us to like as a community like really create something very special here. And I think like that's as a team, like what we want to do is like, dude, it's no fun for like Frank to be successful. What's fun is like for Frank and his 10,000 best friends to all be winning. Yeah. Like that's what's fucking fun, man. So it's like, I think we're just going to chase that feeling forever. It's just like, how do you make sure that like, like the holders are winning, bro? Like everybody's just winning, whether they're small wins, big wins, like whatever, doesn't matter. And it's like wins can look like so many different things. Wins could look like money. Like, great. Yeah. Everybody loves money. Yeah. Wins could look like meeting a new friend, literally. Right? Or hopping on a Twitter space for the first time because you used to be nervous about it. But now, because like you joined Utes, it's like you actually feel like you're wanted, you're welcome, and like these people won't judge you and stuff. It's like so many just very small, beautiful things are like baked into like this community culture that we have already. And like obviously there's some bad apples out there. You can't prevent that 100%. But dude, like what we have truly is special. It's lightning in a bottle, and I think it's up to all of us as community members to just not let that lightning dissipate. Yeah. How can 100%. We foster that spark into something that can grow into something much larger?
Yeah, man. Like these last 2 years have changed so many lives at so many levels. It's crazy. Like you already saw like a couple of tweets of like people like selling a DeGods to buy like to get a down payment for a fucking house, like literally starting a family, buying the house that they where they can like start living in. And like in the story of that family there is DeGod. Like
it's beautiful.
It's cool.
Beautiful. Like it's actually just like beautiful, man. Like I can't even imagine how it would feel for like Frank or like the core team guys that have been here just grinding since the beginning, because it's like, dude, like it's very easy, especially like the haters love to be like, oh, these are just dumb pictures with no utility. It's like, dude, no. Like if you've been paying attention, like the utility is that this shit changes lives. Like it can change lives in a very real way, as far as like, oh, you can buy your new house with a DeGod. It could change, your life in a very non-expressive way, like just like changing your mindset, your outlook on like, how you look at things and how you want to build stuff. And dude, like that's what it's all about. It's just like, are you better on the other side of this thing than you were before you came in? And if the answer is yes, then I think like DeGods is a success.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. We should stop for real on that sentence.
Probably. No, we'll run it back soon. I could talk forever, man, but it is getting late, and I gotta get up and pump the bags. You know how it is.
Yeah, but bro, like we can stop the stream so for you to start like continue to walk and pump my bag. That it's whatever you want, man.
Great, thank you. I appreciate it. No,
man, that was really a good time, and I really appreciate that you accepted like the invitation and like to spend that hour and a half with all of us, from the people from chat. That's why like the DeGods community is strong.
Anything for you, bro. Anything for you. I mean,
thank you.
I think a lot of people, especially like the new people, they don't quite realize like how OG you are and like how big of a part of this community that you are. And there's a lot of our holders that I think have like kind of like the new blood is just unaware. of just like the lore, you know what I mean? And so I would love to, I mean, we got to figure out a way to get like all the OGs on like the same call or like the same Twitter space. We'll like reminisce about the marketplace.
That could be cool.
It would be so much fun, man. Let's for sure set that up. But I appreciate you, appreciate everything you do for the community, man, everything you've done in the past and everything that I think you're going to continue to do into the future.
Yes. Like, bro, I'm going to continue to use this camera, bring some nice people on the show, and like, keep sharing like the good vibes of like the DOS Lab communities. The same thing that you are doing every day. So just doing it my way.
I love it.
It's cool. Yeah.
Well, we're here to support every step of the way, sir.
Thank you so much, man. And like, so I think it's time for us to conclude the show. Thank you so much for everyone who watched it live, for everyone who's going to watch the replay, because it's a nice episode. You should definitely do that. If you don't follow Aaron yet, why? But like you can find like all of the his Twitter profile in the description, and plus like DeGods and Youths. But like everyone is following DeGods and Youths, but whatever, put them there. Aaron, thank you so much, and I can't wait for the episode 2, man.
Awesome, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a good night, man.